Hey guys, I am the Comics Kid 2099, and I am here to do another installment of
Missed Opportunities.
If you have never seen one of these before, basically what I do, I talk about a movie, a comic book, or a TV show, and I say, this is what they did, and I wish they hadn't done that, and instead I wish they had gone in this direction. Last week, I talked about Heroes. Specifically, I talked about one of the characters on Heroes, Claire Bennett, and I said, this is what they did with that character. I wish they had done something totally different with her. And I was dead certain that I had talked about Heroes before on this channel, specifically with my Missed Opportunities videos. And I went back and looked, and turns out I haven't talked about Heroes before, so I'm going to now take this time to talk about something that I've talked about many times before outside of this channel, and I figured it would make a great Missed Opportunities video. So, a little backstory for the show Heroes. It started off, the first season was like 25 episodes or something like that. Everyone loved it, and then the second season was originally supposed to be about that long, and whereas the first season was one long storyline, I think it was called Origin was the story for season 1, season 2 was supposed to, I think, be 2 or 3 stories. And the second story, I don't remember what it was called, but it ended up being the entirety of season 2 because of the writer's strike of 2007. Now, the writer's strike, more than any other TV series out there, it really destroyed Heroes, and I will explain why right here in a minute. Basically, originally, like I said, there was supposed to be 2 or 3 stories within the season 2 of Heroes. And so the first 11 episodes of season 2, which ended up being the only 11 episodes of season 2, that was all going to be a complete story. And for the most part, we still got that complete story. However, because of the writer's strike, the people behind this show, they took the original ending of that 11th episode and they said, well, we need to change that because it leaves too much of a cliffhanger ending and it might be over a year before we get another episode of Heroes, and we don't want to leave them with too much of a cliffhanger ending. So originally, the plan was, over the course of season 2 of Heroes, you had this bad guy, Adam Monroe. He was planning on releasing a plague that was going to destroy like 90% of the population on Earth. And in his mind, this would allow the survivors to start over and they would have a better society than what they had in the first place. And originally, episode 11 was going to end with Adam Monroe dropping the virus, and then the follow-up storyline, the presumably next 11 or so episodes, was going to be the main characters of Heroes Season 2 kind of banding together and trying to quarantine this town and saving the planet and helping make sure it doesn't become this possible alternate future that a couple of the characters in Season 2 foresaw with their abilities. However, because of the writer's strike, the people behind the show, they decided, no, we're not going to go with that story. So instead, they had a few of the characters band together and they stopped Adam Monroe. They prevented him from releasing the virus. And then, out of nowhere, Nathan Petrelli, he was one of the guys there trying to stop Adam Monroe. He says, you know what, guys? Our parents, all of our parents, they released all of this badness onto the world. And what he was talking about was, in season 1, a lot of the main characters, their parents had been behind the big bad plot, and then in season 2 it turns out they were connected to this big bad guy's plot as well. And so then Nathan, out of nowhere, he says, you know what we should do? We should hold a press conference and we should tell the entire world about the existence of superhumans. And then he gets up there on a podium and someone shoots him, and that ends the season. It was at this point, in my humble opinion, that this show was completely 100% broken beyond all repair. Now, I do know a lot of people really hated Season 2 a whole lot more than Season 1. For the most part, everyone loved Season 1. A lot of people did not like Season 2. I didn't like Season 2 all that much. It had some good qualities, But I don't think that season 2 was so bad that the series was completely broken. It was only when they ended season 2 and the way they ended season 2 that I feel like they really had no idea what they were doing after that point. This one fairly minor change to the end of the season caused them to have to reevaluate everything that they were going to do with this series, so they basically had to take out an entire storyline that they were planning on doing. This meant that they had to get rid of characters that they had introduced specifically to be part of that storyline. If you remember the character of Maya, she had the ability to release this plague thing, and then her brother had the ability to kind of cancel out that power, and eventually she had the ability to cancel out her own power, and this character was introduced specifically for the reason of being there during the quarantine so that she could kind of absorb this plague that Adam Monroe released. And when you decide, okay, we're not going to do the plague storyline, suddenly the character of Maya has no reason to be in this show at all. Basically, season 3 of this show was one of the worst things in television that I've ever seen, and I feel like all of the bad stuff that just made no sense or was just really stupid could all be traced back to this point at the end of season 2, where for some reason the people behind this show said that they needed to change the ending of season 2. What makes this all the more alarming is they said that the original ending that they had was too much of a cliffhanger. But then the new ending that they had was basically just as much of a cliffhanger. It was really weird that they traded one evil for the exact same evil. Now, I do want to say bad writing is bad writing, and there was plenty of bad writing in both season 1 and season 2 of Heroes. So I'm not going to say that if we had gotten the original ending of season 2 that the show would have been one of the best things ever. We probably still would have had some more bad writing in season 3 and season 4, but I firmly believe that season 3 would not have been the complete train wreck that it was if they had just gone with the original plan that they had. Sure, the writer's strike made them shorten season 2 from roughly 20-ish episodes to 11, but they could have taken those remaining 9 or 10 episodes that they were going to do in season 2 and just moved them forward and let that be the beginning of season 3. There was really no reason to take out that storyline entirely. So anyway, that's about all I had to say here. This is something that's been driving me insane ever since the show Heroes was on. I remember just really being baffled by this decision ever since I saw season 2, and so now here I am getting it out of my system, hopefully, and you guys get to have a missed opportunities video out of it. So, do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comments below, and if you like this video, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Do all of those things that you love doing on YouTube videos, and I will be back tomorrow with another kind of video. Until then, have a great day.